afternoon, good evening, good night,
Yo.
and good morning. What's going on, people? Welcome to another live episode of Millionaire Man Cave right here on Relationship Entertainment Television, better known as RATV. I don't think I've said that part in a minute. But yeah, it is 8 p.m. It's time for a brand new episode of Millionaire Man Cave right here on Relationship Entertainment Television. Y'all know how we get down with the get down. We only do an hour show, so we keep all the intros, all that good stuff short now. So we can actually get to the topics at hand. There's a lot of good information, or not information. There's a lot of stuff we actually want to talk about tonight. So before we even get into all that good stuff, all the things we're going to talk about, let's go ahead and introduce everybody who's on the show tonight. As always, my brother from another mother, Millionaire Mike, is in the building with us tonight. What's going on, Mike?
I plead the fifth. What's up, man?
Can't call it. Can't call it.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling all right. Had a doctor's appointment this morning, one of many, but I'm doing good, so I can't complain.
You straight with the? You ain't got no more issues. I mean, I know you still got the, everything's still going on, but you ain't got no more issues with the heart. You still good there? You ain't got, the medication, all that.
The heart's doing real well.
That's what's up.
Yeah, the heart's doing real well. I don't know if I've updated y'all on that. So at a year, I had improved dramatically, and it's almost a year since that improved. So I'm almost at year 2 now, and I'm still holding steady. So doing really well heart wise.
I mean, just out of curiosity, anything you do in particular that your doctor told you that make that makes your heart beat so well now?
No, it's so they call it a cocktail of medicines, and it's like 4 or 5 medicines that they have to get you on, and they have to elevate or lower the dosages to get it right. And so during that first year, that's what I was doing. I was changing my dosages on my medicine a lot, and I had to slowly build up. Like I started with 2. Then they could add the 3rd, then they could add the 4th. And so it's a total cocktail of 4 or 5 pills, medicine I had to take. And they're working strong. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Oh, so you still got to take
them. Other than that, yeah. I won't be able to stop taking them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing. I mean, I'm just curious. Ain't nothing natural. They ain't got you ain't like looking to like no natural remedies. Or things. I mean, all the reason I'm asking because I'm leery. I'm always leery. Exactly, Donnell. I'm always leery of not necessarily that, but I mean, I'm always leery of taking of medications on a regular basis because usually a lot of medications come with another side effect or some other stuff. And plus, who the hell likes taking medicine all the time? So that's what I'm asking. Were there any other natural remedies that you may have looked into?
I actually didn't look into it. No, because at the point that I was at, I mean, my heartbeat was it's not the heartbeat, but they call it the ejection fraction, whatever. But it's how the heart beats. It's supposed to be somewhere around 50%, and I was all the way down at 14% when this all started.
Gotcha.
So I was in dire straits, and so they like I said, I'm back up. I'm at like 45% now. So maybe now is the time to ask about natural remedies, but I don't think there is.
Yeah. I'm just curious, especially
at least.
Gotcha. And so I know specifically in my family, heart issues run in my family, especially on my father's side. So I'm always curious to know, like, what other people are going through, what they're doing, anything you may have looked into, things like that. So just so I always keep that stuff in the back of my head, and whoever else may be wanting to know the same type of information. The back of my head, I ain't say, Donnell got the big eyes when I said head.
Yeah, nah. I mean, the diet is big, especially for prevention or keeping it away. It's the sodium, cutting the sodium and the salt as much as you can, the sugar, fat, all that stuff. Because I was eating whatever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want. And, I spent some years smoking when I was younger and, cigarettes rather. and my father, had it and died from it. It was inevitable for me.
Gotcha. All right, I didn't mean to get all down that whole long road, but I just wanted to ask those questions real quick, so you see how you doing, all that good stuff.
Nah,
and like I said,
people want to know that type of stuff,
For sure, including me, because like I said, those type of things run in my family as well, and it's always a concern in the back of my head, and I know I don't always eat right, and I don't always do right. I know I recently started going back to the gym about a month ago, and I'm trying to avoid those same things as well. And so if I can learn from somebody else, then I'll definitely do that. What's up?
Real quick, I keep hearing people mention people that are going through heart failure or have had heart failure that I had never heard before, and so it's making me wonder now how rampant it is. Like because we don't talk about ourselves like that. Especially Black folks, we don't talk about that stuff. So I wonder, like, it may be a really widespread thing, and we just don't realize it.
So it's dope. I need to get into introducing Donnell, and then I know we got my man John coming through in a minute as well. But before we do, right quick though, because you said something that triggered a conversation earlier the other day between me and my wife. She was like, do guys in general talk about some health issues that they may necessarily have? Whether they may think it's embarrassing or whether they may think it's things that don't affect other people. It's like, do guys, and I'm like, I honestly can't say that I really do talk to any guys that I know of regarding any health issues that I have, family issues and whatnot. So when you mention that very well may be true, Mike. That very well may be true. I mean, maybe that may be something that
conversation another time, but yeah.
I know we laugh and joke and play and all the stuff all the time. But, we may need to, have some conversation just in general, and not be ashamed. It may not even be this type of form. It may be, a more private conversation, stuff that we don't necessarily relate that, out to the public, but it may be, just, or the stuff that we do feel comfortable. We can have those conversations here on the show as well. But anyway, that's good information. I'm glad you're doing good, Mike.
Appreciate it.
As always, my brother from the DMV is in the building with us tonight. He's the original OG. I guess the original is the O and G, huh? Unless it stands for something else. Mr. Reese,
he's the original OG.
He's the OO. He's the double O, triple OG. What's going on, Donnell? Mr. Reese?
Triple. Say now. Not much, man. Not much. Glad to be here. Missed y'all last week.
Yes, sir.
Other than that, maintaining.
That's what's up.
Glad to have you back in the building.
You doing
good? Actually, I'm doing a lot better this week. Well, today than I was any other days for the past couple of weeks, actually. Speaking of health issues, so as you guys know, my father going through it right now, and watching that is at first it was very scary, but it's very emotional at the same time. But I think the thing about the whole situation is the unknown. About taking care of someone when that time comes, and what I knew about what was going on with him, I now learned. I already knew that he was diabetic, but what I didn't know was when blood sugar levels drop. They always talk about your blood sugar level being high, and I think I've heard people say stuff about blood sugar levels being low. But when a person's blood sugar is low, they almost look like death to me. You know what I mean? And that's kind of scary. And so, I learned that you got to eat. You know what I'm saying? Especially diabetics out there, you have to eat to keep your blood sugar up, because like it's almost like, I don't know if you ever seen maybe something on social media when like a elderly or even I guess a person our age can be driving and they're just it's like they're here but they're not there. You know what I'm saying? the paramedics had gave my father some liquid sugar, if you will, and it was instant. Like he perked up. But what I'm saying is that, you know, it's like, you know, that was the unknown factor for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, well, is this it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it just seemed like it's fading away. So yeah.
That's that, and that's unfortunately we at the age, you know, all of us are, you know, Mike be a little bit older, but all of us are at the age where our parents, you know, are starting to become dependent on us just due to the, you know, life happening, illnesses, and all that other stuff. So I know, you know, that's something that's definitely weighing on you. And like I told you last week, you know, I'm definitely keeping you and your family in prayer for sure. Real talk.
Appreciate that.
Speaking of prayer, we got Bishop T.D. Jakes Jr. Have you ever been swallowed?
John wants to be
in the night with us. What up, John? Oh no, I'm in trouble. What's going on, John?
I mean, I shouldn't even be on here right now. That's yeah.
Hey, that's a hell of an intro for you, huh?
Hey, because John do a hell of an impersonation of T.D. Jakes.
He does.
Oh, so.
You ain't gonna do it, John. You ain't gonna do it.
You don't want to get swallowed up.
He walk around to his wife talking about, have you been swallowed?
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Quick question for you. If your son go to school and say that, is he in trouble?
Probably not, because they don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about it.
I'm talking about from you.
So you think?
What?
From you, is he not as well? I guess if he doesn't get in trouble at school.
Nah, he fine. I mean, look, the problem is that this is something that I have learned. Been so much in the world of people who, you know what I'm saying, they live a whole different world than we live in. Like, they have no idea the stuff that comes across our social media feed. They wouldn't be able to tell you who T.D. Jakes was. They wouldn't even be able to tell you, like, you know how many people, my son got his hair done. You know how many people have said nice haircut to him when he got a 2-strand twist on his locks? I'm like, I said, son, I was like, you talking to people who get their a haircut maybe twice a year. So they don't know they don't know no different. They don't know no different.
Do you? So I'll say this: as a person with locks, John, do you and your wife encourage your son, you know, or uplift him about his hair? I know you've kind of gone back and forth about your feelings about him growing his hair, but do y'all, like, not necessarily encourage him about his hair? But I've had people, like you said, of the other persuasion who will make comments or make, you know, or they're so fascinated by my hair that they're not looking at me. They're so focused on my hair. And I would hate for a young black man like your son to feel like he's being, I don't know, singled out or treated differently all because of the style of his hair.
You know what? I guess it's a great question. And the short answer to that is I have a hard time encouraging him because I know what he may experience or what he is experiencing. But what I also find myself doing is trying to reinforce to him that, you know what, as long as you keep your hair neat, as long as you are taking care of your body and your hair, I don't care what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's yours. It is who you are. It's part of who you are. And that's the most important thing about it. Now, would I prefer he cut his hair? Personally, 100%. And that's my personal bias on it, especially at this age, especially because of the costs associated with it, and because he does not know how to maintain it by himself, right? So it's a constant like learning thing that it's a lesson learned for him on, you know, when people do say stuff that does not make sense based on what we know about like how his hair is not a haircut, you know what I'm saying? He didn't cut it. It is maintenance on his hair. It is, you know, him growing his hair because he loves his hair. He loves how he looks with his hair. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate the fact that he is at a place in his own growth, his own personal growth, where he is embracing who he is with his hair, right? And that's an important part for me. That's an important part for me. Now, again, Daddy would love to see it short, like I keep my hair. You know what I'm saying? For many reasons,
so
but it is what it
is.
is.
Real quick, you know, not to get into your reasons, you know, if you don't want to let them be known, but is there an age that you would have felt like is 10, 12 or so just too young, or would high school still be too young? Would college still be too young?
When he got a job and he can pay for it, he can do whatever the hell he wants with his
hair. Gotcha. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. As a person who has locks and gets their hair done on a regular basis, it is not a, you know, well, honestly, it averages for me anyway. It averages out. You know, I don't know how much, you know, haircuts now are probably what, about $20, $25 plus the tip, right?
Probably more than that. But I cut his hair out. You know what I'm saying? I cut his brother's hair, so I can give him, you know, a nice Caesar. You know what I'm saying? I can even fade it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So haircuts are free in my house. Hair maintenance, hair dues ain't free
or not.
I don't do that. I can't do that.
Sound like one year I need to learn how to twist some locks between you, your wife, and your other son.
Right.
Would they pay $25 for a haircut these days?
These days, no. Haircut is like $75 to $100.
Right.
I don't know. So I'm saying I ain't been to a barber, and who knows? Because even when I didn't have hair, I was rocking the ball. So I don't know. I ain't paid for a haircut and shit over 10 years at least. Yeah. At least 10, 12 years I ain't paid for a haircut.
I hit, from what I've heard, they range anywhere from 30 on a regular, from 30 to 60 on a regular. You got people that are higher. I haven't really heard too many lower, but usually
that's wow.
And that's what I remember.
Nothing crazy. Regular ass haircuts.
Yeah. And then they charging high prices for kids' haircut too.
That's the end of the day.
Yeah, what? they charging high prices for kids' haircuts too. So I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm a barber. I've always I've been cutting my own hair since I was like 15. And then my sons, my youngest, he's been growing his hair out since he was like 5. But my oldest, I used to cut his hair. He kept a mohawk, and I used to cut his hair until maybe about somewhere between 13 and 15. I decided that I wanted him to experience the barbershop, so I stopped cutting his hair, and he started going to a barber.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I hear that. So
obviously, Donnell, I'm way out of touch with the barbershop, because even my kids, I used to take them and I used to drop them off or whatever. But and even then, to me, it wasn't no more than like $15 after, you know. And that was a long ass time ago. Until they got to the point where they got their own jobs and I made them pay for their own haircuts. It's just not personal. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Hey, Mike, before we move on to some more interesting topics for tonight, I wanted to bring this up because I know we were just talking about this earlier.
Thank you.
And so,
because I have not seen it.
Hopefully, I can get this joint to work right, because I'm not home tonight. So if I can get this joint to work right, so you can see here.
Shout out to Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore.
So watch the ship in the left hand side, Mike.
So the power went out initially, and you'll see the boat go black. Now, mind you, this is a sped up video, but it go back. Power cut back on.
They start
smoke from the
turning
plume.
more. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
And they lose power again.
him. That's what happened.
They get power again. And then they go back out one more time. Too late. Now.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
So it wasn't, as you can see, they was trying to clear the bridge.
God.
But they couldn't clear the bridge because they were having issues. They lost power, got it recovered. They was having smoke coming from the plume or the joint on the ship, the joint, and they were trying to clear the middle of the joint. So it's not a drawbridge.
Yeah,
I knew we were talking about this earlier, so I wanted you, to see the video so you can actually see what we were talking about.
I'm gonna tell y'all, in my all day long, because like I said, this is my first time seeing it, and I heard about it first about 9 o'clock this morning. But I've been working and just doing stuff all day. I haven't had a chance to just stop. So in my imagination, all day long, it was the top of the ship running into the, I didn't even imagine it was just hitting one of the stands or the pillars. Wow.
That's crazy, it hit one of the support beams. Yeah, and like I said, it was a suspension bridge, and so it wasn't like one of those bridges where you can hit the support beam and the rest of the bridge be okay. It was you hit the support beam and the entire bridge collapses because it's being pretty much supported by the suspension. The whole engineering of it is what it is. But like you said, much prayers to those who were part of that incident. Prayers to those who are a part of the recovery process, because last I heard. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I know Donnell and Mike are in that, in the DMV area, which is separate from where that incident happened. Got to clear that up, because when you usually say you live in Maryland, people are like, Baltimore? No, not Baltimore. So, but I know y'all hear the news and stuff. So
I had got a phone call from WSSU asking me was I impacted?
Really?
Like they were reaching out to all the Maryland. The Maryland alum.
That's kind of dope, though.
Yeah. But I'm like, she was like, "Are you or do you anybody you know?" I'm just like, "No, I'm about an hour." I'm about an hour.
Yeah. But I mean, there are people who commute, so some people go up that way to to work and whatnot, and there's people come down this way. But it happened at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, so even then, that's. I mean,
the good thing is, unfortunately, there were for sure people on the bridge who got hurt, but because it happened at night, in the middle of the night, and it is spring break in Maryland for public schools, there's probably not as much traffic that is impacted right now as there will be in the future, because they lost that bridge across that body of water, right? So I mean, there are other ways in and out of that area, but it's gonna be difficult going forward. So
because it's a major bridge in that area, isn't it?
No, well, yes and no, right?
Coming from that direction, yeah.
Yeah, most people use the tunnel. It's like the it's the southeastern side of Baltimore. So it's an area called Dundalk, which is right there, and it's I think it was 690. I think it was 695.
695. Yeah, it's right there about 695.
Most people go 295 all the way into the tunnel. 295 to 95 into the tunnel, or they go 895 across another bridge when they go in and out of Baltimore. But that bridge is specifically the one that is most often used by companies that haul like a lot of chemicals and stuff like that, because they can't go through the tunnels. So it's definitely going to. Yeah, and it's also going to impact. They had to shut down the Baltimore Harbor or the docks in that area, which is the Port of Baltimore, which means the cruise ships can't go in and out of there, which means that the shipping containers, which that was a container ship, can't go in and out of there, and that's actually going to have a lot of impact on you know,
The
shipping
economy.
industry and
Commerce. Yeah.
It's gonna have because I didn't know what I didn't know Baltimore was one of the primary ports up on the East Coast, specifically for importing of cars, vehicles.
Yep.
So they bring a lot of vehicles into the port of Baltimore, and then they ship them out from Baltimore to other cities, other states, and whatnot. I didn't know that was a major, and so they're saying that that may be a big impact on the economy when it comes to cars and goods and everything else, because they can now no longer go through that way until they get that bridge, at least out of the water. I mean, out of the water.
Yeah. So it's a big issue. It's a big issue.
So I knew that Baltimore was a major port or had major port from The Wire.
That's right. That's right. That was season 4, the season that nobody liked.
I was about to say that was the season in the summer.
Season two. That was season 2. You're right.
I was about to say.
I didn't like it either, John. I didn't like it, but I learned.
That might cut down on the drugs going on in DC, and not DC, Baltimore.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Possibly.
It was crazy. So
You never know. Yeah. You never know.
So
human trafficking, be humans on them ships in containers.
Speaking of human trafficking,
and so I don't know. So every year, somebody always keeps a calendar of all the shit that goes on from month to month, right? So here we go. January. January, we got Cat Williams. I don't know who the hell is next to Cat Williams, but we got Cat Williams.
Wait, you ain't. But we seen that. That's a dude who flew across the
that's him.
The judge. That's the
judge.
That's him. They should have used.
I forgot about that.
They should have used the picture. They should have had his ass flying. They should have had a picture of him and flying across the bench to the judge.
Wow,
that's what they should have had.
Right. Okay.
So, and in February we had the Super Bowl where they was all making a big deal out of nothing over Usher and Alicia Keys.
I don't know,
apparently
that was something.
That girl that got that tattoo on her face.
Krishan Rock and the tattoo of her ex on her face, which was dumb as hell. And then apparently Monique sat down on Club Shay Shay as well. I still ain't see the Monique interview with Club Shay Shay. I still ain't seen that.
I haven't either. I haven't even seen clips from it.
Me either.
I catch clips from other stuff, other people on Shay Shay, but I haven't seen Monique.
I was out of the country when that one actually happened. And of course, here we got the end of March. The end of March. And who we got? Good old Diddy. John, we renamed your podcast, John, to Diddy Confessions.
Yo, okay, yeah. So we ready to talk about Diddy? We gonna talk about Diddy?
Yes, please. Let's talk about Diddy.
Okay.
Let's please talk about Diddy. Let's talk about
Diddy not.
So there's a couple things that everybody should know about Diddy, right? Y'all remember, y'all old enough to remember when Diddy ran the city, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Diddy ran the New York Marathon. They said Diddy ran the city. I say now Diddy done ran out of the states. Diddy done left the country. You know what I'm saying? He out there on the run. He on the lam right now, as they say.
Is he though?
Is he? He probably going to go hang out with Russell Simmons.
So this is the thing. This is the thing. You know what I'm saying? So his house in LA got raided, right?
And the one in Miami.
Part of this. And the one, the one in LA got raided. The one in LA got raided first, and it was in response to the accusations of him running a sex trafficking ring.
From my understanding, that's not true. Now, from my understanding, they hit both of them at the same time because they didn't want to give him an opportunity, nor the people at either one of his properties an opportunity to destroy evidence. So they hit both of them at the same time.
Maybe they did. All I know is Diddy mainly lives in Miami right now. So he don't even live in New York. Like he mainly live in Miami now, right? And so his house in Miami is where I guess he was not at home when they hit it, but he was some people have video of him at the airport before he hopped on his private jet which by the way is
Pacing back
called
and forth.
apparently it's called Love Air. Okay. And now they are saying that he is in the island somewhere trying to, fight extradition or like going somewhere where he doesn't get extradited. Which I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but all we know is Diddy didn't get handcuffed. Okay, he wasn't home to get handcuffed.
It's not 100% accurate. Only reason I know that is because supposedly, and I'm saying supposedly, allegedly, his jet was in the Bahamas, but he was in Miami. So TMZ apparently saw him in Miami pacing back and forth at the airport or whatever. And I think what he was actually doing in Miami at the time, he's pacing back and forth, was he was calling in the hit on the bridge in Baltimore. So that way he could take the heat off. He was like, yo, crash that bitch into the bridge. I need to take the heat off me.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, so Diddy running out of the country, you know what I'm saying? I call him the diddler now. He's the diddler. He's clearly is out here, doing, we already knew that something ain't right about Diddy, right? So now here we are. Diddy is I don't even know. This joint is so crazy. People talk about every year. They're talking about, I never thought that would have been on my bingo card for this year of stuff happening. That's real. Like, I mean, but you think about it. Like, I was telling somebody earlier, I was like, yo, this man, they got him looking like Epstein.
Diddy Weinstein. Diddy Weinstein.
That's Diddy Weinstein. Diddy Weinstein. Diddy on the run. He got the all the stars. He got the 6. Oh no!
The internet always wins, man.
Yo, did he do it?
The internet always wins.
Yo,
did he do it,
man?
There's
diddler.
the diddler.
Yo. Yo.
All right.
That man right there. Wow.
With him, man.
By Dan Snyder. That's hilarious. Directed by Dan Snyder.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, man. Yo. Oh, look, soundtrack by R. Kelly. That is hilarious.
Wait. Is it soundtrack by R. Kelly? Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. I can't stand people.
No, go ahead. My bad. What you saying, John? You were saying what now?
I don't. Ain't nothing else to be said, man. That man is Diddy. I mean, Go ahead.
You did say that he was like head in a ring. I don't think anybody has said that he's been like mastermind or head in the ring. They just said he's taking part in.
Well, see, this is the thing, right?
Human trafficking.
Yeah, but see, this is the idea. This is the thing, right? Sex trafficking is a term that they use for any kind of like situation where people are being forced into sexual acts at this point.
Right.
It ain't even that he like moving. It ain't even that he necessarily moving people from one place to another to have sexual acts. Is that he is doing stuff with people when they don't want to. They don't want it to be done to him in the future, for sure. That this is hilarious.
Yeah, he was. In other words, he was, and I hate to say this because I want to talk about this in a second too. He was pretty much Bill Cosby and people. He was drugging, and because they're so. I don't know if y'all heard about the white dude who was the ex-basketball player who was pretty much his drug mule. There was a white dude who they picked up as well in Miami, who allegedly, and I forget his name. I have to go back and look at his name. But allegedly, there's a white dude that would always get his pills. He would always supply Diddy with his pills and stuff like that he needed for his parties. So anytime Diddy needed pills, he needed drugs, he would call up this white dude. He was an ex-basketball player. And so they wound up picking him up in Miami as well. At the same time, they was raiding the house. So they trying to get a lot of people to start flipping on Diddy about all the stuff that he's been doing and all the things that go on, over the course of time. And I know that it's a very complicated story that's been going on. But my question to y'all is this: I was having this conversation at work today with my manager and another dude, right? With all the stuff that's going on with Diddy, we already had the conversation about R. Kelly. We already had the conversation about Bill Cosby. Does this like tarnish his reputation as well at the same thing? Knowing all the stuff that Diddy did. Think about it. Diddy is a cultural icon, not necessarily for take that, but he's a cultural icon for all the groups he put out on Bad Boy.
He took hip hop to a different level, another level.
For Bad Boy, Revolt TV, all the stuff that he's done culturally, right? And he's a cultural icon, right? We think about R. Kelly, who is another cultural icon for all the things that, all the music he's made for our culture. We think about Bill Cosby, who was a cultural icon, but not just being a comedian, but being that positive black role model as a father on TV. Is Diddy now in that same category?
Yes,
if
Diddy did.
Diddy is a
Diddy did it.
That's gonna be the next memes. Every time something happens, Diddy did it.
That's right.
But
talking last week about saying, instead of saying Paul, you say
no Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. But if they do push charges on him, then I think he will suffer the same fate. Yes. Now, how they going to cancel this dude? I don't know, because he's touched too many things.
He's been swallowed.
He's touched too many things. So like we talked about kind of R. Kelly. Do you cancel the music he's produced or just his music? Like, he produced Moke and Steph and Changing Faces, I think, one of them.
Total.
He's produced a lot of stuff. So
Craig
we're
Mack.
really not canceling that. We just canceling his direct music. So
Jodeci, Mary J. Blige.
You have to believe this is the way I feel about it. Is that we live in not just a time, but we live in a place where the people who have resources and means, they get to a point in their lives and in their careers where they feel untouchable. And the interesting thing for me is, no matter how many movies or like stories you hear about people who reached a certain point in their career, they still there's not one story out there, not one movie, not one book, not one situation you've ever come across where it ends well for the people who have reached that point where they feel like they are untouchable. They all get touched. And I don't mean that in that way. You know what I'm saying? They get in trouble. Recent. You know what I'm saying? They get caught.
This is something recent though, John.
It's not something recent. It's not something recent, Donnell. This is every
Weinstein and them good old boys was doing it for years. They didn't include
but
R. Kelly,
but guess
included.
They did it, yes.
And the Me Too movement. It wasn't until the Me Too movement when stuff started spiraling for them.
Right, but what I'm saying to you, is that, and I'm saying, and let's be clear, there are still people out there who are getting away with it, but the problem is that people get too big headed, and put it like this. Think about the movie Scarface. Okay, Scarface was doing great. He had all kinds of money. He was selling all kinds of drugs. He was doing whatever he wanted to do, right? But the problem was not that he was getting big. The problem is that he felt like he was too big to care about anything else. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have to worry about nothing else in his mind. And what happened to him? they came after him, right? Because there is somebody who's even bigger than him who decided, you know what, you think you too good.
But that wasn't the case. But that wasn't the case
playing the game.
That wasn't the case for Diddy. What spiraled for Diddy is when Cassie came out. When Cassie came out and said that he was doing X, Y, and Z, that's when other stuff started coming out about Diddy.
Yeah,
right.
You can't sit up here and tell me. You can't sit up here and tell me J-Lo ain't know nothing about this stuff going on, and whoever else, you know what I'm saying?
Carisha, who we supposed to be with now.
Right, exactly. But again, if you plan the game the way that they, when I say they, and it's a conspiracy, right? If you plan the game the way they want you to play the game, you can keep doing those things. You can keep living in their world, and you can keep getting what you're gonna get. Nobody gonna ever know. They will make stuff disappear.
Nobody will ever know.
They'll make it disappear.
I think
they'll discredit people.
But I think all it takes is that one person who's not afraid of their past, you know what I'm saying, to stand up against, you know what I'm saying, like these monsters. Because they're going look, the media going, you know what I'm saying, people going to judge, the media is going to say what they're going to say, you know what I'm saying, but you got to be able to stand through that.
I mean, yeah.
Donnell,
but we also think about this, Donnell. But wait, we got a vice president who shot a guy in the face. Ain't nothing happened to him.
I don't know about that.
He talking about Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't nothing happened to Dick Cheney.
I'm like, who Kamala pull a gun out on?
Right.
He said we had a vice president.
We had a vice president. We had a vice president who shot somebody in the face. And that went away.
Hey, we had a president. We had a president that grabbed him by the pussy.
And that went away. You know what I'm saying?
But they tried. They tried.
But he playing the game. He know who hold all of the cards.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But I will say this too, John. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people against him in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You stupid man. There are people against him in that sense that, you know what I'm saying, who are, you know what I'm saying, trying to find avenues to get something to stick on this dude.
Yeah.
So
he's not in the clear.
No, he's not. He's not. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult to get him. He's proven that. But here's my thing. Donnell kind of pointed out earlier or mentioned earlier. You said the Me Too movement kind of started. I believe that in 50 years, 100 years from now, the history books are going to call this the age of not atonement. Damn it. I always forget my words. Accountability. The age of accountability. And I think that it was the Me Too movement that started or brought us into the age of accountability. So now, after that Me Too movement and gaining steam as we go along, anytime these one people like Cassie, like you were saying, it will catch steam because the media is going to jump on it. Whereas before the Me Too movement, the media didn't jump on it and start bringing other things to light. But now, any little inkling, the media jumps on it and people start to come forward. And so, and that's why I call it the age of accountability. I think that the Me Too movement started that, and that's where we are now.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. It definitely be interesting to see what happens because it'll be hard to, unlike an R. Kelly or Bill Cosby, it will be hard to cancel him in the way that you cancel R. Kelly and Bill Cosby because he's had his impact on so much, in the music industry and the entertainment industry, but I think eventually everybody, what's done in the dark eventually comes to light. So whatever you've done in the dark, whatever your past may be, it's going to wind up catching up to you. And I think it's finally catching up to him, you know, because he's been involved in so much things that we just did not believe or would not have thought that he was, you know, involved in. Like, so then it makes you go back to go, okay, well, was he really involved in the killing of Tupac? Was, you know, I've heard rumors about, you know, him being involved in the demise of Kim Porter. Was he really involved in that? Because I would have never thought that he would have been involved in some sex trafficking or right. You know, anything or any type of sexual assault. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of artists, a lot of, you know, people in the industry, you know, the whole sexual assault stuff. But
let me tell you something, man. I have always been, and this is just me, you know what I'm saying? I do have some close New York friends. I'm not talking about y'all, but I've always been very worried about cats from New York. I don't know why. It's, you know, maybe it's a personality thing. I don't know. But for some odd reason, my intuition, you know what I'm saying, they always rub me the wrong way.
They go mad hard, son.
My wife is from New York.
Mad hard. So we gotta bring out our Timbs.
I ain't talking about northern New York. I ain't talking about Buffalo. You know what I'm talking about.
No, she's from like I would say she's probably like
well, let me say
not Columbia to DC.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say more like New York.
Not too far.
Not females. Because like I said, I do have some New York, but they're females.
Okay.
You know, I have a few acquaintances, but let me tell you something, man. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what I know about even about them, like they like to get down. And I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? So hey.
I just feel like I won't go that far. Because when I was in school, when I went to Elizabeth City, and this was early 90s, DC and New York used to hang together. We were one of the very few schools, because in most HBCUs, DC and New York beefed constantly. But at Elizabeth City, we all kind of hung together and got along, at least in the early 90s. And I met some cats that were pretty good dudes. I mean, they would come to DC with us and party, loved go-go. You know, I mean, you know, I met some stand-up dudes from New York. So I can't say it blank for New York, but yeah, there's shady cats everywhere.
Yeah, I was there's shady cats everywhere. Truth be told, it's some people that I went to school with that in PG County that did some things that I would have never thought that they would have done at the same time. So, but it's shady dudes everywhere. Females too, not even just dudes. Females too.
I think people do whatever they feel like they can get away with. And again, the more money you have, the more fame you have, the more
you think you can get away with.
The more you think you can get away with. And I think that's just the reality of it. Like your appetite, you know what I'm saying? Okay, put it like this. When I don't know about y'all growing up. I grew up pretty poor, right? So growing up poor, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like pig feet. I like hog maws. I like chitlins. You know what I'm saying? I ate the things that was in front of me because that's all I knew.
You just made me nauseous.
I ate, you know what I'm saying? Spam and eggs.
It smells so bad, I refuse to eat it, dog.
Whatever. So y'all some bougie Negroes. That's what
your friends' gatherings.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all some bougie Negroes. But see, I grew up poor, you know what I'm saying? So I ate spam sandwiches. I like spam and eggs, okay? But this is my reality, right? Right. But so what happened was you get to a certain level and you realize, you know what, I ain't gotta eat spam no more. You know what I'm saying? I could do whatever I want. I can go buy me a steak. I could buy me a bunch of steaks. I can eat steak every night if I want to. And you know what? You get to a point where you're like, damn, steak ain't even doing it for me no more. Steak ain't, that's just meat. I'm about to grow me some meat. I'm about to find me something. You know, I'm about to do something different. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do. Do you get to a point?
You making Donnell feel real uncomfortable.
I know.
And they're like, I ain't gonna play.
This is what I'm saying, right? You get to a point.
I got you. Like, I understand what you're saying.
You like the things that's regular don't interest me no more. I want something different. And you just going to do whatever you want.
You ever been swallowed? Sorry.
Hey, so to a point that was made earlier with Trump, I feel like so Trump always felt above the law because his lawyers were so deep. He ran over small businesses like it wasn't shit. He would contract them. You know, we've talked about that before, but he would contract them and not pay them and let his lawyers hem them up, and they couldn't do anything. And so now he's gone beyond that to when that dude became president, he got whole half a country that supports him no matter what the freak he says. He could say anything, and they'd be like, okay.
But I'm sorry,
when you got that kind of power, who's going to bring him down?
So I think the reason a lot of people support him,
there's no Cassie in this case. There's no one person. There's no one person that's going to jump out there and be like, he did this to me.
But she did. But the woman did. What's his name? Stormy Daniels. She did. She came out. She said the man peed on her. She did all of that.
She paid. She got
right.
paid.
That's what I'm saying.
She got paid.
Has anything happened?
But you're saying you proving my point. You proving my point.
He
you know
is
what I'm saying?
untouchable now.
He got to a point where his appetite for regular things got so out of hand. He could do whatever.
He just ain't been convicted yet. He's not untouchable.
It ain't gonna happen down there. He ain't gonna get convicted.
All right. Let me tell you something, man. Men like him, it's almost like I hate to say OJ because it's not really an OJ, but like he gonna do something to mess himself up because of who he is.
Okay. So basically the only person that can bring him down is himself.
Correct. I mean, but he's proven that.
Yeah, with the whole January 6th situation,
that he gets away with it.
I was about to take his ass out for real. The whole January 6th situation, whole insurrection.
Who becomes president after saying I grabbed her by the pussy? Who? Trump.
All right.
Would anybody else in America in the past history of presidency, would anybody else have been able to become president after that?
Yeah.
Come on now.
It depends on your complexion for start. And to John's point, it depends on how much money you got in your pocket. Your complexion and your make a hell of a difference. Diddy couldn't do it. Diddy won't be able to get away with it. Diddy won't be able to get away with it. Diddy's gonna get what Diddy deserves at the end of the day. Right. Just like R. Kelly did, just like OJ did, just like damn Bill Cosby did. He gonna get it, but it just depends on how much money you got and the complexion of your skin, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
We living in crazy time. But the thing that you all have to keep in mind is that again, I can't say it enough, man. As people get money, you know what I'm saying, they start living different. Like everybody you mentioned before, this is like especially Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby tried to buy a whole television station. Whole television network. And this is what happened. See what happened to him. It's like,
but then why didn't you do that to Byron Allen? I mean,
because Byron Allen buying little. Byron Allen is buying little networks here, and he ain't buying major networks. He ain't buying major networks.
The channel is a major ass network.
It ain't no damn major network.
Is it now?
It's the Weather Channel. It's the Weather
Channel.
Who
even watches the Weather Channel now? Like back in the 90s and the early 2000s, people were. But who watches the Weather Channel now?
I mean, he getting paid from it, but it ain't
right.
It ain't something that's.
At one point.
I mean,
but who watches
exactly BET? Who watches BET? Like, you know what they did? And look what happened. Look what happened. Well, look what happened when whatchamacallit tried to buy BET. When what's his name?
Tyler Perry.
What's the boy name?
Who?
Tyler Perry tried to buy
Tyler
BET.
Perry?
They said nope. Yeah, they said nope.
So let me ask you this.
They said you got too big of an audience. People know your name. People
Well, hold on,
listen
hold on.
to you.
I thought he did get it.
You
Though.
can't have. No, he didn't.
So let me ask you.
They didn't get
They
that.
stopped. Oh,
So Bill Cosby was released because his conviction was overturned, correct?
Yeah.
whoa, was it?
So,
Yeah, but in the meantime, they made sure that he spent time in jail. They also made sure that basically all his money is gone because he done given it all to the lawyers trying to get him out of jail. The man ain't got no money now. He ain't got no power no more.
But his conviction was overturned because that shit didn't get a lot of press.
Yeah, they got overturned
Recently,
within the last 6 months. Within the last 6 months,
so did he
not get any of the press that him going down got. So him
guess what?
Being
Donnell,
exonerated,
it don't matter. It don't matter if he did it, Donnell. They got what they wanted out of that. They knocked him down a peg.
They shut him down.
They knocked him down a peg. It don't matter if he did it.
So answer me this.
I mean,
riddle me this.
Diddle
me this.
Anybody watch the Freaknik joint on Hulu? And if so,
I ain't seen it.
If so,
I've only seen like the first 20 minutes.
With anybody on the Freaknik documentary, are they going to be held accountable for their actions that they did back in the 90s?
Anybody see their mothers on there? On mothers?
On mothers.
My wife kind of told me I was concerned that I might have been on it, but my wife was like, if you was on there, somebody would have told you by now. So
we ain't, you know what? We not of the age where people would see, we wouldn't see our mothers on it. We would have been. Apparently, did you know that it started back in the 80s?
In the 80s,
yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, after watching it, and not only was it started in the 80s, but it was started by some people from the DMV.
Yeah,
DMV,
DC
and it was
Metro
literally
Metro
just a
Club.
cookout. It was a cookout, and it got out of hand in the 90s. Negroes got out of they started.
Look, the 90s was wild for everything and everybody. The 90s was like something else. It was different. Music in the 90s was different. Remember
talk about BET? Remember BET Uncut? That was in the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s was different, man.
Boy, the BT Uncut ushered me into puberty. My voice got deeper as I watched that joint. Like, hey.
Unlock this door, John. Unlock it. Why you ain't with the door locked?
Why you taking them long ass showers, John?
What you clapping at? It sound like you clapping. What you clapping?
Look, I'm just watching Ludacris as he slide the.
Why that bath towel in the corner there?
John, why is
it all hard and crusty? Why is that hard and crusty, John?
John put his mother through some strains.
Turn that devil's TVs off. That devil's TV.
BET Uncut. You ain't had to. Who cared about Max when BET Uncut was on TV? Ain't nobody. I don't need that.
John, you said your Bible pages were sticky.
Thus saith the Lord.
All right, well, goodbye, Instagram. I think we've already been done with Instagram.
Goodbye, Instagram. We at the hour mark, so Instagram is about to dip out. So do Instagram for sure. Do Instagram for sure. Hey, last but not least. Hey, y'all see the I know I sent it to y'all right before the show started, but y'all see the trailer for Bad Boys 4?
I haven't seen it. I haven't really had a chance to see it. It's coming out like in May or June, though, right?
In June.
June.
I don't know.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Waiting for it.
What happened?
Well, It's a geriatric boys.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, it is like they've been doing this
Danny
drink
Glover
forever.
was like in Lethal Weapon. Danny Glover was like old as shit.
Yeah, but I mean, he also wasn't the action star in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mel Gibson was.
He
was
always
young.
in Lethal Weapon, he was always the old dude though. True. So
Yeah, he was from the first one. He was like turning 50, but he looked like he was 60 something.
You know what? Even when he was in the second Predator movie, he was like barely an action star in that.
that's true.
But Liam Neeson didn't become an action star until he was almost a senior citizen.
Yeah.
Then he became an action star. Ain't that crazy?
Hey.
So.
Speaking of Lethal Weapon,
Confessions.
The did
Like John got a podcast called Confession. Did he do it or did he not?
Donna, what was you going to say, man?
I was gonna say, speaking of Lethal Weapon, maybe not you, Mike, but Ty and John, y'all wasn't crushing on Ebony Smith, the daughter, in Lethal Weapon? No,
I can't even picture her now.
I'm gonna send
I
it.
can't even picture her now.
But I was never crushing on the older daughter either. She was just all right.
You got me googling
The one
you got me
who
googling
got with Chris Rock. But the younger daughter was brown skin.
The one I used to like.
It's a Tracy Wolf was her name.
Oh
No.
Oh no, which one you talking about, Donnell?
I mean,
the younger daughter or the older daughter?
The youngest one, the one that's my age.
I'm about to show you exactly who he's talking about. I remember her. Nah, honestly, real talk. I don't. Nah, I wasn't. Not at that time. Nah. What did you join it though?
I used to love Lethal Weapon movies though. I got all 4 of them on DVD. Oh, that's what she got right now.
Nah, that's so that's the one at the bottom.
That's Ebony Smith.
That's Ebony Smith.
They all her.
That ain't her.
Huh?
Ain't no way that's her.
Right here. Carrie Murtaugh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I ain't talking about as an adult. I said it's with Lethal Weapon.
Well, right there. She wasn't.
So when y'all was little, did you like her when she was little?
Right.
Okay.
That's how I knew.
Okay.
That's never mind. That's how I knew I like girls. Like now.
That's when Donnell also had the crusty tiles in the bathroom. Same picture I just showed, Donnell. The joint you just via text is the same picture that was at the bottom of the joint a minute ago.
I had jellyfish in the shower. It's like no.
Yo, but it's funny. I don't want to go there. Never mind.
That's why they call me OG.
Now, well, I was going to say, all right, I'll go there. When you were a teenager, that shit was like taboo, but everybody did it. And then when you get older, everybody's like, well, shit, we all do it. Everybody did it. but when
again,
you were a teenager in high school,
don't talk about.
I remember this dude. I ain't gonna say his name, but he got caught beaten off by some girl that went to not me, but he lived in Tantine. But he got caught beaten off by some girl that came up to the house and saw him and told the whole school. And I mean, this dude was like the laughing stock for I think over a year, well over a year. But everybody does that shit.
It's immaturity though, Mike. Think about it. When you young, it's immature. You don't think about the fact that everybody do it. You ain't thinking about the fact of sexuality in that manner. You're thinking about it's such the plane. He beat his meat, or she doing this, or he doing that. it's the immature thing. So as you get older, you realize that everybody has sex, and you realize that everybody has wants and everybody has needs. And if you can't get your needs met, then you kind of have to handle your own business. Thus, they got a whole billion-dollar industry, of those type of things. Then it's more commonplace as you get older as an adult. So that I think that's the thing. It's a level of immaturity. Kids, when you're young, you ain't thinking of it in that sense. You're thinking of it because you damn sure don't want to think about the fact that that's how you got here in the first place. Your parents had to do whatever they had to do. It was, jacking off your vibe. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay.
Oh man, you know what? I think that killed it. I think we should end it on that note. Y'all, I ain't even.
Do you know where your mama
here? You wouldn't be.
I done
here
heard jellyfish.
That jellyfish joke got me. Got me twice now.
Did it really? It got you?
Yikes.
Okay, now we get in the show. Now we get in the show.
Got him.
Hey,
I had to get it off my foot.
Hey, you know what? On that note, good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning. Mike needs to go wash his feet. Donnell needs to go clean the shower. And John is about to go ask his wife, has she ever been swallowed? So, same place, same time, next week, y'all. Yo, I'm done. We out, y'all. Peace. We out. I'm crazy.